Sagar or Bharat, who want to start the demo first? You can share your screen and then show the environments.
Saga. Yes, I am Saga. Yes, yes, yes. I'm sharing my screen
Yeah.
here.
Then walk us through the features, and then also you can open your VS Code and just show the components that you have built there. You have already done that too with me. Just you can repeat what you have done earlier.
Okay, so I have shared my screen, and here is the application code, Sensen code. So should I describe the feature first in the application?
Yeah, let's start from the application and then go to the code. That will make good.
Okay, so
So
here we have
say from
code.
login, the login curve. Where is the login? And then the search, and then the rest.
Okay, so this is the first, actually the second page of our application, because first page is the splash screen where some animation executed, and it's a second page where we can sign up and log in and forget password. So all the functionalities are working now for the authentication. So I am just going to log in now. Alright. One, two, three. So you see the password is hiding now.
Yes, very nice. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to log in now. Yeah. So we are on this page right now. This is our home page of this application where we can find the part. So I'm selecting the aqua. Actually, until we select the one drop down on this page, other drop down will be disabled to choose. So I'm going to 2015. Now this has been selected, and RTA, and going to find. Actually, I will replace this weird loader here on this application. So this is the list of the products which we are getting here, and yeah, we we have this. And after clicking on the any card, we have the items here, details, item details here. So we can see this. Actually, I think we don't have the multiple images here, but if we get multiple images for any part, so we can scroll the images from the bottom of this component, like this I have shared before. So it's only one images right now. So going to the part number search. From here we can search the part number with selecting the values from the drop down, or just simply can type the part number and then search the part. And here we have the product info guide. So in which all the data is coming from the API, but the data is dummy right now, which is there on the backend. After getting the original, we will just replace, and it will render We don't need to do anything in the application. So clicking on the which is all the can zoom this PDF, but right now I'm simulate the PDF. So and we can close from here. And going to the technical. So here we have these numbers and businesses, and going to the menus. So here we have all the menus where homepage we already checked, or part number is there, where we can search the part number. Product info guide we just checked, and going to the videos. Actually, uh, let me check the video. It is still going to the Dropbox. Actually, we just need to replace this Dropbox and the local MP4 type videos with the YouTube links. So after that, user will be able to see the video in their browser. So on this page, still the data is dynamic after updating the YouTube links in the database. So all the data will be rendered here, the original one. So everything will work as it is with the original data. So going to the troubleshoot, guys, here we have the same issue. The PDF are missing here, original PDFs, and FAQ. Yeah, FAQ has been dynamic now according to the JSON. So if I open it, so it is showing the answer like this, FAQ, and here we have the PDF, dummy PDF right now. And setting page, we can see uh, the first last name and email. Now if we open the account here, and if we can change and submit there, it's a language which we selected, and there's a notification here. I need to change the label of this. I will, and then submit is working fine here. In the news, I remove the weird cards and uh, make it simpler according to the original PDF. And after clicking on any news here, we are going to the browser to read the news from the link here. Any news we can read from here after clicking on the heading of this. And technical support we already seen. So it's about us. Yeah, about us. We the banner is loading now, and it is working fine here. Yeah, should I go through anything else in this application?
Is the about us text still static?
Yes, it's static.
Okay. Okay.
So this was the feature of this application I described. So now should I go to the code?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, let me show you the structure of the application. So all work we do in the application in the SRC source folder. It is not the folder which come with the template of React Native, but we create this folder ourselves. Okay, so if I open this, and we have several folders here like animation, assets, component, config, global, screens, and storage. In the animation folder, we can put any animation file. If I go to the Loti Loti files here. So actually, the animation I added on the splash screen. So I picked that animation from this. So here we have more than thousand plus animations here. So if we want to replace or add any svg from this website, we can put and replace there. So right now I just downloaded the loader from this website and put in the animation file, which is here in the animation. So it is the just uh, JSON of the Lotify animation, card loader, and the gear there in the splash screen. And in the assets folder, we have the images, icons, which we are showing in the application. And here is the font of application, uh, Arcita PQ. It's the font. And in the component, we have the button container loading. Button component is this one, which is similar for all the screens, logout, find part, and all the uh, buttons. We have the component here in which I added the this round image, and this text part is extending according to the width of the text. And it's a container container file is something like import this component in any page, and it handle the scroll and the safe area of the device itself. I made it responsive according to the screen of multiple device for the iOS and Android. And here we have the loading. So it is the loading of a application. I will add this component everywhere in the application, as we are seeing the weird simple loading here in the corner of this application. So I will replace this with my loading component. It will cover entire screen with the black overlay, and the center of that black overlay, you will see the loader here, if any API we will call that. And in the config file, we have the language, JSON, navigation, and yeah, and the language, we have the some JSON file here according to the language. It's a English, en, French, and the Spanish file. I just put the values here after uh, Google Translate here. So if we want to change anything here in this file, so we can change. Suppose if the breaking news value is wrong in the French, so we will just go to the French, search for the breaking news, uh, breaking news, and we will replace the text here, so it will render according to the language there. And in the language, we just imported these JSON file there. And here we have a navigation of all the screens here. All the screens navigation we have about us, find us, and we are importing this navigation in the application. I will show you now. So if I open the app.js, so we have the provider here. So I have imported that navigation file here and added this. So in this navigation tag we have all the pages of this application, and here we have the context provider. Here we are not using the redux in our application, but we are using the context API, which is the new concept of the React. So we are using the context API in this application for state management. So going to the global, so we have the global here. I not made many files here, but the some file here like the this text. So where I need to add the global style, so I will just add here, and I can use everywhere after importing this file. And in the screens we have all the folders for each screen, such as the about us. So if I am expanding, so after expanding we can see here we have the two files. One is for index, which is the html like file. Here if I am click, so it is our html like file. Here we have the react native co- component here, which is rendering our application structures such as text, images, and all the things. And the css or the styling part is there in the styles json. So if you can see this line, so I added the line here for the responsive. Means if we are running the application for iOS, then width will be the 2.5, and otherwise if we are running this application on the Android, then width will be show the 2.8. So we are handling the style according to the platform, the iOS and the Android. So in the each folder of each screen, we have two files here. One is for the uh, elements of React Native, and one is for styling of that page only. All folder have two files. And now coming to the store, so we have actions here. uh, we have some functions here which we call uh, uh, when we need to call any apis, such as we have the login here. So we use the call api here, and going to the call api, it is the it is the here assign. It is the only object of that object, means which token and parameter we want to send to call the API. We are using the Axios here to make the REST API request. So we are handling all the get post request in the single function here, which is called API. We are sending the request type from the action file, which is get or post. So if we found the get here, so we just call the axios get. Otherwise we call the axios post method here, and the axios patch for the apis there. So in the actions folder, we have multiple files here, which are just a function to handle the errors and get the data from the API. All the files here for the action. So here is the service file, which I already shown that we have added the Axios file here, and we are calling the data from the backend with Axios. All the header token and all the things we are sending from the page where we are calling that function. Is API constants here. We just put the all the base URL and endpoint here. So if we want to add any new API in this application, we can just simply uh, uh, copy and paste a new line here for the endpoint, and after that we are good to go to use this endpoint everywhere in the application. Network utility file is just checking the network if we means our device has the internet or not. It is just network handling file here. And actions is no, it is the dummy file here. I will remove this. It is useless now in this. Yeah, actually, it is the constant to perform the state management by the context API. If we want to choose, if we want to change the username, then that we just import this variable from the this file, and we can set in the context API. I am showing you the context API here. uh, Context we have, and yeah, we are importing this change username, change number, set user. So if you see the uh, this case, so we just send the key here and the value. If our key match and value is the new username of that user, so in this case we just change the username of that user and just return the same. So it will render in the entire application. uh, yeah, so here we have the main JS. It is not using here. So yes, only the file which is left is app.js, which is our second file when our application loads. So I implemented the Evo UI kitten UI library here. Let me show you. For I added some components from this UI library here in the application. So here is the library in which we can find all the drop downs and select box. All the things are there. Components. Yeah, if we want to see the cards, then we have the components here. We just need to import. So it is the card, these card buttons. So it's a UI library for especially for the React Native UI kitten. So I use this library in our application. So I just imported here the UI kitten, and provider is the context API only the here. So it was the structure and the code of this application. First file of this application is index.js, which simply called the app app.js JS file. App.js, we implement the UI kitten, and inside the UI kitten we have provider file is nothing but just a context API. Inside the context API we added the navigations in which we added all the pages here. Yes, so it is all. That's all. So please let me know if you need any clarification for anything.
Awesome.
This is quite clear. Can we have the same walkthrough for the API now? The same
Bharat?
level of detail?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sharing my screen. Uh, Yeah. So basically, we are using Node.js technology for the backend, and especially we use a loopback 3 framework to generate REST APIs, and we are using MongoDB for the database services. And yes, so these are the tables that we created in our backend about us, which describe the about us page, and breaking news, which has a breaking news. Data and FAQ, likewise everything, FAQs, product guide, and slide images. Wherever this images that we see in the mobile application, sliding images we will have in this particular table, and the spare part details, and the part images. We have multiple images where we can rotate the image and see all these images will lie here. And the technical support, and the total user management, where we can do some sign in, sign up, and forward activities. So uh, I'll explain how we can use this loopback explorer, which is a Swagger application. So here, um, this is the method, you see login. This is we use to log in, where we have to provide username, password, and it will give us a token. We have to maintain that token in order to perform remaining operation, because we are using this token based authentication to validate the every request that comes to the server. Likewise, this post call is a sign up, where we have to provide all data, and this is an post call. So likewise, we have written some remote methods. Remote methods are we have written some methods that for our customization. uh, these are something like a validate OTP, validate user. These two will use for um, um, resetting password. And after that, there are two more methods, which are post methods, that are for updating the user information and user password. And yeah, these are few operations on user table. And when comes to the about us is a quite simple page, where we have to feed some data, and we will get the data. Post call is the fourth one from the top is a default post call, where we have here to seed the data into DB. So these are the parameter that expects whenever we trying to feed the data. So logo URL is a some image URL, where we can see this image in about us page in the mobile application, and the title line. And you can put a number of lines here, that lines will come in the about us page. Okay, and likewise, so if you want to edit or delete the record, whenever you have something in it, I'll show you something here. Okay, okay, we don't have any records. I'll put some record here quickly. um, See, when I just made some dummy data here. So if you want to edit some data in this, you have to take this ID and use the patch call. uh, Here the patch, and you can edit the data that which you want to edit here. Or if you want to totally delete it, and there is a delete method here. By using the ID, you can delete the total record and you can insert the new record. And this is applicable for every table that we see here. Okay, so the breaking news, breaking news is a category wise breaking news. So the same thing, you can post the data, new data here by using this, and you can edit by using patch, and you can delete it. And we have developed a two remote methods here to get the all drop down values. Like the properties in here is I'll show you. See, URL URL for the image, and sorry, the breaking is URL, and title text for that particular breaking news, and what category it falls into, whether it is a news or it is a product or something, and the cover image. And so to get all the categories to the drop down in the application, we have used this particular find drop down get method, where you will get all the categories here. And based on that categories, you can search the news by using this particular remote method. And when you go to FAQ is a quite simple um, thing, where you can feed the data from the post method, and where you have to put a question and answer, and insert it. You can see that question answer in the FAQ page. Simple one. And product guide is also the same. It has a title, description for that, and PDF link, and what type of product guide it is, and cover image for that particular guide, and ID. And yeah, and so slider images is also the similar one. A URL for the image, and the name of the image, and the type of the image. And what type means, I have used this slider image table for two places in the application. One is at home screen, one is at somewhere in the breaking news. Yes. So based on the type, we can differentiate where it slide. Whether if you want to slide the image in the home page, you just have to put general. And if you want to slide this image in the breaking news, you have to put breaking news here in the type. So it will slide in respect to screen. And sorry, spare parts, all the data that we see here from the data that we read it from the SQL DB. So we have a script to read the DB from SQL DB to puts in MongoDB. I'll show you that also. This is a simple one, where okay, so the properties inside this particular table are dynamic. We can put a number of properties, and that we can see in the property. Sorry, spare part display page in the mobile application. So these three are the interlinked tables: spare part, and spare part details, and spare part images. And likewise, the technical whatever the data that we see in the technical support page, we have to see it from here. Okay. And we have to use the post call to seed the data. and finally the user one I already explained to you, and the migration script is here. So seed mongodb from sqldb. So all we have to do here is, so we you have to mention the table name and you have to mention the db name. So it will search the db name in the mysql server or mssql server, and it will go to that particular table and it will fetch the data from the mysql, and it will create the same a table name in the MongoDB, and it will see data from MySQL server database to MongoDB. If you have any updates, or if there is any new DB changes in the MySQL, you just have to execute this particular remote method. It will update. It will refresh the DB in MongoDB. Okay, and when it comes to the code base, um, yeah, this is how it looks. So I'll explain you the folder structure first. So then the package JSON is the a very starting file where you have all packages, and how to run this server and all those information here lies here. The version of every particular package that we are used, and um, after the server is the where all boot scripts and boot values will here, and this is the model config file. Okay, I'll explain very orally in the very high level, then I'll go deep inside. So a client is the place where you can put your some HTML files, it will render, and common models is the place where you will have all the table respective table scripts and the validation and properties of that particular table. Let's take an about us table. If you want to perform any remote method or any custom logic that you want to execute on that particular table, you have to write it here in this file, in the JS file. And about us.json will tell you what type of the table it is, and what are the properties inside that particular table, and what are the validation that is for that particular table, and what are the relations that this table has, and what are the ACLs this particular table has, and what are the methods that we perform for this particular table. All information we will have here, and we can extend this particular JSON file. And likewise, this is the CSV that I have created customly. To initially we read the data from the CSV files and put in the module. For the reason I have put this folder, and this is a library that I created customly, and where transporter service JS is the file where some queuing things. I'll return some queuing things here, something like sending emails, sending mobile messages, and push notifications, something like that. And node modules, all this folder is a default folder. Whenever we import a package, the original source code will come here. And the server folder is like a start point for this particular application. And a boot file is all, we will have all boot scripts and route and all those stuff here. Okay, and the component config file, this is related to the swagger. We just seen a while ago. We can change the path, and if we want to block, we can block from here. And the config.json file will tell you what are the configuration that we have for this application, like on what is the host port, base URL, and DB, and all those stuff, and what are the URL encoded type, and what is the limit for like body, every rest call body, and
Bharat, have we lost you? Can
Yeah.
everybody hear me?
I can hear you, but I cannot hear Bharat anymore.
Hello, Bharat.